For our practice this morning, we are going to be exploring Mudra. So if you are maybe seated, probably seated or lying down, make sure you have some mobility available to your hands and your wrists. We'll get started in just a second. And I'll share that most of my learning on mudra has been from this book, The Mudras of India by Kane and Revital Carroll. It's a really good reference manual for some history of mudra, the different cultural applications of mudra, common in Indian dance. So if you've watched any Bollywood, um, also common in Balinese dance, and part of yoga practice sometimes. Um, it's interesting when you think about like what kind of separates us from other mammals and hands that have this incredible dexterity and can do so much and really are the onus for how humans have evolved is because of these hastas, as we would say in Sanskrit. And this practice today comes from one of our community members and the open question of what do I do with my hands when I'm meditating? So there's all of this power that hands contain, maybe all of this energy that is seeking to be expressed through the hands. And then we come into a practice of relative stillness. There can be some discomfort that arises. You've maybe even experienced this in social settings where you're like, what do I do with my hands when I don't have a glass to hold on to, or like that's why a lot of us fiddle with our phones. So we can develop skillful means for using our hands on purpose, either as giving them something to do during our meditation or using them as a source of information to see what subtle energies might be arising. So a little bit more of an active practice today. It'll be on the shorter side. We'll go through, let's see, I have 5 mudras that we can practice together. And then you're kind of off on your own, maybe checking in with how the hands, the hastas, are showing up for you for the rest of the day. So to get us started, let's just gently rub the hands together, create a little heat. Maybe you shut the eyes. Keep going. We'll keep rubbing those hands together, maybe a little bit more power and speed for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, keep going, 1, and then separate the hands like a little orb, eyes closed. What sensations can you experience here? And go ahead and lower those hands, maybe bringing them onto the knees, palms facing down. Our first mudra of our practice today, Abhaya Mudra. So this is kind of what you see a lot of times in pop culture type meditations. You'll see index finger and thumb coming together, fingers on the hand, slightly spread apart. And what I think you'll see a lot of times in like comics or pictures or whatever is that gentle yogi sitting in bliss with their hands on their knees like this. That is a mudra. So in this mudra, typically hands would be outstretched from the shoulders. We can use that kind of pop culture reference to gently lower the hands down onto the knees. And the focal point for our awareness is the gentle touch of the index finger to the thumb. Fingers from middle to pinky may be outstretched or maybe soft. Check in. This gives the hands something skillful to do, but also may reveal some subtle energy. Our reference guide says that this mudra can help resolve inner conflict, calm the mind, maybe reduce anxiety, settle emotions, thoughts. And spend about a minute or two here. And start to close up our first mudra. Reset with that gentle rubbing of the hands together for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. A little separation. Archaka Mudra. Fingertips come together and form a pyramid shape. You can bring the hands down to chest level. This is a posture, again, that serves for concentration, maybe calming the nerves. This one's also, from an energy perspective, helpful in terms of balance. You may notice that there's a tendency for one hand to push a little more firmly than the other, off-centering the palms. This is gentle. Gently bringing those fingers together. Balance. Subtle energy of balance. Focus on each of the fingertips making contact with the other. Pause for a moment to release. We'll reset. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The Mushti Mudra. We make a fist. Gently wrap the thumbs over maybe index finger or middle finger. Maybe you can reach all the way to the ring finger. Hands can come down onto the knees or the lap. Steadiness. Sometimes naturally arises when we're experiencing anxiety or anticipation or anger. See if you can relax just a hair and let this be a foundational mudra. I'm noticing in my own practice that whenever I bind up or exert a lot of energy, the shoulders start to creep up. So I'm trying to keep the upper body light and awareness on the fingers making contact with the palm, gently held together by thumbs. A few more breaths. Two more. We reset. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, keep going, 1. A little energy orb being held. Samputa Mudra. This is a bud or a vessel. So we'll end with Anjali Mudra. We're getting there. Gently bring the fingertips together, thumb together, and there's a little hollow space in here. So the pads of the fingers are not meeting. It's like we're holding on to something delicate at heart center. Subtle energy here is openness, but still being held. About one more minute. Final mudra, reset. Maybe a little bit more vigor here as we come into our final mudra, reverent Anjali mudra, used so often, so in all the disciplines, right? Asana, meditation, prayer, and slight tuck of the chin to the chest. We're going to do this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, a little more vigor, 3, 2, 1. Prayer hands at heart center. What I like to do is push from my thumb knuckle to my wrist, a little push to the chest, sternum and chin towards the chest, centering connection to the heart. Humble posture of reverence. One more minute here, little squeeze and push, palms together and maybe thumbs at the chest. Heart connection. I use this mudra with every practice. And typically, in my own experience, there's great distance between the heart and the third eye, a space of wisdom. So I will take this mudra and bring the heart into the wisdom at the third eye and use this as my opportunity to bow, create that channel and that lock. May the merits of this practice be of benefit to all sentient beings, ourselves as always included in the circle of compassion. Now, this was a shorter practice. We are a little bit more tactile and hands-on. If you are joining on Thursday or any subsequent practice, maybe there was a mudra that stuck out to you. I'll post them in the group chat so you can reference them again. We'll have a lot of time on Thursday, of course, in our insight practice. Many of these mudras are recommended to be sustained for a good 30, 45 minutes each. So today was intended to be a little sample of what we could potentially do, skillful means to direct our attention or opportunity to check in on subtlety. So hopefully that was a good high level 5 options at a minimum that you can continue with in maybe life or in our practice. So thanks so much, yogis. Have a really beautiful Tuesday.